Good evening, good evening. Welcome to our live Facebook. This is the Wednesday night on the 9th of August, just short of 9:30. We're going to start soon in here. And again, I've been looking into the market, really figuring out what is the likelihood is going to be going on. So I will give you my best opinion to share with you. So thank you for coming, and do share this video in your timeline, and thank you for your support and your gracious time. So I'm going to share with you what I think going forward and what kind of strategies worthwhile going forward, and what has worked in the past and likely to go forward going in here. All right, so let's get started in here, and I'm going to welcome all of you. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the live Facebook at 9:30. We've been ongoing for the last almost 3 years now going forward in here. And for those of you who have patronized our live Facebook and really understanding Pentagon Guider, we thank you for your support. And tonight is about weathering the stock market storm ahead for Bursa, right? That's right. And you have seen the many talks about market correction, recession in here, but so far this market has seems to be holding up its level and continue to make upwards from here. So what is the so-called end story behind it in here? So we will take a look at what we have for you, and for those of you who stayed on, I hope you will learn something also in the market correction for our market here. So what do we have for tonight? Tonight is we are talking about whether it is possible for a market correction ahead, right? And then we'll be looking at the definition of market correction for Bursa Malaysia, and what does it curtail in, and how do we prepare for it if there is one. And again, what are the opportunity now for VSA trader and investor, and in summary, and also closing in that too. So let's take a look at what we have. As usual, we want to compare the where we are in terms of the KLSE. You can see from here, the orange mark, the KLSE is currently at about minus 1%, minus 2%. We came down from minus 8%. You know, we're coming back to now with the FKLI in here. And when you compare to STI is positive 2%, and Indonesia is almost climbing up to 3%. But the king of the stock market will definitely be the Nasdaq in here. I think those of you who have invested in the Nasdaq would be very, very hopeful, right? And going forward, and I think some of the investment that you all have should be in the US market, which I've said many times ago. And it's just unfortunate many people did not take the advantages of actually investing cross diversifying overseas in here, and continue to stick to the local company. But having said that, I'm going to share with you a strategy tonight that many of you will benefit if you continue to want to be in this market. And it has done pretty well through our backtesting. As I said before, we have launched our Pentagon Guider for the last 2 to 3 years. So the question is going back to how good or how well has it fared. So it's also time to showcase what you can do with our Pentagon Guider. For those of you who are a member, the VSA 360, this is a continuation from where we left off last night during our VSA monthly orientation for our members in here. And if you are not a member yet, you want to consider joining our membership in here. Lots of plus in here. So right now, as of 9th of August, the KLSE continue to catch up. We are on the month of August, so we have another 4 more months before we close it. And I do think that hopefully we will pass that positive, as many of you continue to following. This is like a story that continue to unreveal itself in here. But Thailand, because of, I think Thailand, we're going to snap back very soon. Once they resolve SAT, minus 8% here, once they're able to resolve the parliamental, then you'll see this market likely to move higher. Now, from the Bursa digital research, talk about stock exchange correction, and there's some sort of very interesting statistic. This is a very long statistics, almost 40 years. The average bull market gain is about 83%. All right. Then the bull market days is 728 days. So 728 days. Let me just get my calculator here. Right. So it's 728 days divided by 360. Oh, this is market days. So market days, we put 200 because it's trading days. So it's 3.6 years. All right. So did we have a 3.6 years of bull market? The last few years, what do you think? My audience here who is coming, all right? Do give me a thumbs up. At least I know you are there and really responding to it. So, all right. Hi, Nora. Thank you for coming tonight. And so I don't think we have a 3.6 years of bull market did we have, right? It was more like an up, down market, up and down. And on the bear market, you can see from here, we have 200. We almost have 1 year of bear market. I think many of you would have felt like we have a 200-day of bear market, isn't it? So that was a much more of a feeling bear market going up to a year last year. Last year was quite a bad year. And having said it, so let's hope this year will be slightly better. Okay. So then there is a flash sell sign, and this is from one of the top fund manager in the US, which I followed, and I think I mentioned here, Tom Lee. He was the guy who got it right this year, beginning sometime in January, when everyone else were bearish about the market. And remember, I've talked about the doomslayer predictor, which I've talked about in many of the earlier in March or April, talk about stock market will crash. Now there's no one to be seen, and including this guy, Michael Burry, who always talk about market crash, and Robert Kiyosaki, market crash, right? But this is the only gentleman who got it right. And one of the things is because he is managing money. He is really seriously managing the client's money. And he appeared in the CNBC, a regular contributor. And some of the things he looked at are also very similar to what we do in Trade VSA, are the technical indicator as well as the fundamental and macro indicator in here. So on August 2nd, he said about the sell signal had just flashed, being one of the most reliable bull. All right. So, and that's caught me. Why last week when I saw this, I said, hey, I need to talk about market correction, right? And because this is important, because many of our members as well as yourself are concerned because having some money in here and you like to know what's happening in the market. And then going forward, what has happened also, he had, sort of changed his mind as going forward, right? And you'll see he changed his opinion, okay? And one of it is because he, that was 2 days ago, he, based on his technical analysis or maybe his team, he found that the market expected to find a market bottom soon. And I do agree with him at this point of time. And why I know that is because this is a method that I've been using for the last 5 or 6 years. I'll share with you how you can be like this guy, Tom Lee, to find those market bottom, right? And it's not that difficult. If you have our VSA indicator, then you're able to find this. That's why many of our members have enjoyed this benefit and able to navigate through the difficult times. And if you're not a user yet in our Trade VSA indicator, you might want to subscribe and use this to your benefit. Now, also this week is the CPI figures, which remember last month on the 12th of July, the figure came out. And the stock market really started to move up a lot. And again, Tom Lee was the person who anticipated that the figures, CPI figures, reporting this week. So you can see the reporting figure will be on July, this month of July. So you can see month of June was around 3% here. Month of July, and you can see it will be released on August 10, which is actually tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow will be August 11 lah. So it'll be Friday 8:30 at night. Friday 8:30 at night will be a Thursday, August 10, because today is Wednesday, Thursday. That will be our Friday. Yeah. So that's the situation that you see, and that's why you see tonight and even our KLSE market today, right, at 5 o'clock, shoom, straight up, isn't it, right? You all noticed that, isn't it? So it's no mystery. If you've been following me a fair bit, you probably understand why it's important to look at this indicator and able to put you into a much better position here for the live in our Facebook. And also in our VSA 360 for our seasonality, you can see the last 6 months has been negative. And take note, over the years, 2016 loss making, 2007 was making 9%, 2018 down 5%, 2019 down 6%, 2020 was a COVID year, the market recovered, right? Then also up 3%, 2021 down 3%, 2022 is down 3%, and so far our KLCI this year is down 2.7%. So this week you can see it's still unchanged, but I do think the KLCI will gain higher to close in August. Can anybody share with me why? All right, the audience who is listening now, maybe you want to type your answers. What do you think? Why do you think, or what's your opinion going forward that you will reckon that the KLCI will turn positive for the month of August? What do you think? Right, I think very simple. It is the state election. That's right. Now with the state election, usually market tend to be very bullish, and we have seen already today on Wednesday the market closes very high, and right now we will have this Saturday, right? What are those states? You can see from here will be first one Negeri Sembilan, Melaka no ni lah, Selangor, okay. Then we have Terengganu, Kelantan, okay. Then we have Kedah, and then we have Penang. Those are the 6 states. These are the 6 states, and they'll be going to the polls on this Saturday, and it remains to be very, very pro Pakatan Harapan. I suppose the 3 states that they'll retain likelihood will be Negeri Sembilan, Selangor, and Penang. The other 3 states will probably lose out to Perikatan Nasional, will be Kedah, Kelantan, and Terengganu. Now, how many of you are going back to your hometown, these 6 states, to elect? If you are, give me a thumbs up again, so I'll make sure you guys go back and have a safe journey in here. And of course, on coming Monday, we will see on the breakfast show at 10:15. Those of you who will join me again next Monday, we will count down to the market, how well it fared. So on that basis, I'm pulling all the shots that we are seeing the KLCI moving higher. As you can see here, we have a nice spring stays at Green Pentagon. Those of you who had the Green Pentagon in here, you'll notice on the 9th of January, market started to pick up. There's no red Pentagon. So it did a pretty good job this round and started to turn back, and more important, ready to move higher in here. Now, if you look at our FKR futures, okay, FKR futures, I turn it off in here, and the leading indicator, this is one of the leading indicator, and you can see on top here, I will talk about this very interesting topic called trough and peak. But many of our members would have used this indicator, and you'll know that this is the peak and valley indicator, which actually tells you how much the market has gone up. So you can see from here, in this case, the market has gone up 6%, and each time the pullback that you see here, -8, -5, -2, we are expecting a -5% if there is a correction. But in this case, you do see there's no correction, right? The correction was too negligible, but it did had a very nice pullback and then bounce out. So let's talk about some of the definition tonight in here about the market down versus the bear market, right? There seems to be a lot of confusion about people. Of course, this is where the live Facebook that I'm doing here, hopefully to clarify what are the definition between them. Now we see when there's a bear market, from the peak to the bottom that you see here, this is a peak of the market going right to the trough, or we call it the bottom, they usually be greater than 20%, right? And early on, there are some of the talks. You can go back to those talks if you're interested to find out more about those bear market. But then we also have the minor market correction where the peak to the bottom is less than 5%. And you have seen just now the KLCI didn't have any correction, partly because of our pending state election. And even in the month of July, before the market started to pick up, we were always touting, what's happening? Do we need to see the state election, which is happening on 12th of August? But remember, the catalyst was it on the 12th of July. The 12th of July was the date when the CPI figures came, and then US Federal Reserve has pretty much, taken up that, look, the last Federal rate hike will be in July, and they did raise 25 basis point, and then this market started to pull back. So it is due to the CPI figures. That's why this coming, I think tomorrow will be Thursday, August 10th, so it'll be Friday night. Then you want to watch out for that figure to see where this figures is coming from, and if that figure is good, then we are likely to see this market has another push up. But all got to be tonight, so make sure you stand by, and when you get up early in the morning and see the Dow Jones in here. And of course, we have the major market correction, which you did see last year, right? 2022 was a year where everybody was crying. We have a bear market minus 35, 36%, right? And I've talked about S&P 500 500 when 1 year it is down. Remember that top? Right, going back about 3 or 4 months ago, if you have listened to me, I think if you follow some of the educational idea that I talk about here, this will put you in a very positive position and probably make some money in there going forward. But you can see the major market correction usually is from between the minus 5% to about 20% in here. So right now we are talking is the minor correction in here. Now via VSA plugin or pick a valley, those our member have used it, and you can use it to your best advantages. So in the past we have seen back from January to May 2022, from the peak to the valley was minus 70%. It was one of the highest correction, and we were just before 20%. But once it broke through that 20%, it is already considered as a bear market. This indicator is quite good to use to determine the market bottom, and that's what last year at 2022, before the start of the Ukraine war, I was still very bullish going to it, because I do not know that Ukraine until now is still fighting with the Russian. And just now I was just on the TV watching, this summer we can see Ukraine is launching major offensive against the Russian in India. They are bombing a lot of the infrastructures, so that means a lot of the events has already been priced into the market that we see right now. So you notice the purple tag and also the orange tag, the purple tag and the orange tag. Those are your magic number. Now the magic number in here we're talking about for minor correction is -5. Now this is an example from Visual Capital, talk about the major correction. You see, major correction is the one that we all should be afraid of when it breaks through the -5%, the -7% and continue to go down. So this is the US so-called benchmark that they have about 71 days, which is 71 days, one correction a year. And I do think Malaysia, we have more than one correction every 3 or 4 months, more for that one. So this one, they're talking about average of 15.6% decline, and you see a lot of uncertainty and also media. All right, so, and also you notice the month in US market, US market, you can see what month is a correction, not July. That's right, July, August. This year we started late. August started to correct. If you look back at the green Pentagon and the red Pentagon for the S&P 500, it's about this time in here. So September will be the lowest, and the best time to buy is actually October. I think I spoke of this very highly. If you are investing in the US market, save your bullet and then get in October. Then hopefully October will rally into December that you see here. But the January month has been a very typical what you see here, a correction in here. If the market don't correct, how is it going to go up in here? And those of you who have seen this, please make this a point to see this chart, usually the October monthly correction that we see over here. And that way we'll put, so you can see from here, which is what I've just showed you right now, the market gone higher there, always to begin end of July. You can see end of July, just like this one. You see that July they started here, and then you can see for this year it followed very nicely in here, a 14% up. Okay, so a correction we are looking at -5. So right now it's a -3. A correction may continue. If it does continue, you're going to be going to end of August. So safety assume, right? Keep it into end of October, I suppose. End of October or maybe late September. But that all is going to depend on the figures that is coming up this coming Friday night or Thursday their morning. Okay. So keep in mind the 9th of because right now in US is only the 8th of August. Now US Dow Jones has corrected only 2%, a very minor correction. Now why this is important, you know, this is the last big correction that they have was 8%, 9% in here. The March was a big one, then 3% and 2%. So if the market is in a bullish mode, usually it only corrects 3%, but it's in a sideways mode, it go about 9 or 8% because it hasn't really sort of noticed once it go in a bull market. And Tom Lee also make a very interesting note. He said that every time the market is in a bullish mode, keep in mind, for every correction that is between -3% to -5%, the institutional will go and buy. And that's what happened before the Ukraine-Russian war crisis that you saw. Every correction, 2 to 3%, institutional buy-in. So this is, again, you want to take note of this 2 to 3% correction. That's where you want to be buying into this market right now. So Dow Jones, again, 3%, and again the same thing when the market wasn't sure yet in the bull run that we see in January to February, the market sort of strained back down. So what about our Bursa? Okay, our Bursa, you can see right now the market was down 5%. Okay, down 5%, down 8%. So we are feeling the same thing like what US was doing. Unsure, -5, -8. But once it started to go into a bull market, you see very small pullback. As a matter of fact, there was no correction. If you have to calculate a correction, let me just take out my my calculator here. If you have to calculate a correction, 1470, okay, 1470 roughly lah. Minus 1440. Okay, let's calculate this. 20 divided by 1470. Okay, only 2% only. Also similar. So if this is a 2% like what we see in the US market, which means Malaysia is undergoing a bull market right now. And more importantly, also, it bounced off the 200-day moving average. Now, let me just summarize this. When the market is unsure, usually where the market will correct, -5, -6% this year. But once it's in the bull market mode, the correction will be 2, 3, 4% only. Then you'll pick back up again. So if that basis is true, if our KLSE is following the US market like the Dow Jones and the S&P 500, man, our market is definitely going to break through if the result comes out very, very favorable for the Pakatan Harapan. As a matter of fact, I have a little friend who works in the ministry, no name mentioned. They're pretty confident 3 states will be captured. Let's hope it that way too. I know things happen, we all know in the market, nobody will know. All right, so that's the case. Then you can see this market. But more important, you can see the market has very strong conviction. It bounced off the 200-day moving averages, and that's a sign of strength. So what is the right trading strategy right now? Many of you will be asking, like, okay, Martin, since you say no market correction, how do we gonna trade this market going forward, right? So do we trade the GLC company that is previously linked to UMNO? Right now, UMNO is no longer relevant after what we saw last year, November, in the GE15 election. The GE15 election, we saw UMNO was really not the UMNO. As a matter of fact, it broke off into a different faction with many of the staunch supporter, and has moved over to Perikatan Nasional in here. So the GLC counter has becoming less and less responsive. Now in the past, MYEG, Star, Destiny, those kind of stocks. But now, as the case of prosecuting these corruption charges we have seen, also Muhyiddin and Muhyiddin's son-in-law, is on the run, and which I find it quite interesting enough. So a lot of this has becoming a no opportunity. So what should we focus at, right? So let me share with you one of the strategy has worked very well in the past, right? What works is actually trading the short-term strategy on small cap stocks. Now you may be wondering, Martin, why small cap stocks? Market's so volatile. But I'm going to share with you, if you trade with the right strategy and able to manage your risk, know your entry, be very disciplined, you can make very, very good returns. Much better than what we see in the KLCI. Now, if you are sick and fed up of the old way of losing money in 2022, losing money in 2021, and also the last 6 months also lose money in 2023, you might want to consider this method in here. Turn to a new leaf. That's my encouragement to you. If you have been following me a fair bit, I'm sure that using the Pentagon Guider on Smart Robie, almost free, has got you in the right position. At least if you have followed the KLCI using the green Pentagon, you will know you may not have exited, not succumb to your emotion. So you can see from here, we do all this on the breakfast show every Monday morning, and then the breakfast show with VSA 360 on Friday. You can see all the winners. We can share with you how they are able to make the kind of return by following the pattern that you see on Trade VSA. Of course, there are no trades that work, so we also show you some of the losses in here. You can see since the green Pentagon, some are smaller. The winner are definitely okay. Let me just pull back. Okay, you can see Wellspire. Okay, Silver Ridge, Valspire, and then another one, 86% has gone even higher. Ewing, right? And also Ewing gone higher, and Kacha and Samaden. Okay, so the key thing is, if you want to get the kind of return that you always do, you must at least practice it. So I tell all our members, those of you who have joined us in our premium list membership, use the virtual trading platform that we set up for you under virtual trade at smartrobbie.com and conclude and do those strategy that we talk about, right? Remember, trading is a operational skill, right? You cannot learn by just watching. Can you learn how to ride a bicycle by watching TV? Definitely not, right? You need to go out and practice. There are many things we like to do, right? And definitely this is one of those things. If you are really sincere in going up and get those, I do think that this is one of the way you can go for. So what are the challenges in trading small cap stock for it to go higher? Definitely one of them is volatility. If you have too small of a capital outlay, unwilling to cut loss, it's also dangerous. Because why? In small cap, you are over leveraging. You are leveraging right now, but don't over leverage, because some of small cap stock, they move in quantums. And the other one is also, when you pick stocks, you always have to look for the daily volume turnover, which then also the VSA setup is very important. So using the Pentagon Guider, paying notice at the daily volume and turnover, it's very important. From that onwards, you're able to see good gains in. So what are the strategy in here? You can use the strategy on the Smart Robie. Definitely is the beginning of a stage 2 share breakout. You also have the momentum, right, of the stage 2 called ST2 daily, and also pullback method on the VSA 360. For tonight's talk, the sharing that I've done is extension of what we did on Monday for our live weekly training for our members, and also the VSA monthly orientation for the month of August. We are using the Pentagon Guider on VSA 360. Okay, so on that one, we have created a new trading strategy called the VSA Turbo Trading using small cap stocks. Okay, small cap stock, and it is called the Pony Express. I think I talked about the Pony Express many times before. The story behind it is that during the 19th century in America, in the Wild West America, right? So a lot of the message or letter or parcel that need to be sent over from New York to San Francisco, they don't have telegram, they don't have internet, they don't have all those satellite or whatever. They actually get a very young rider, normally about 16 years old. We have no fear of dying, and for maybe a small amount of 10 US dollar those days, they will sacrifice, risk their life, not sacrifice, they'll risk their life to ride in a little horse that you see up here, and to ride the horse all the way from New York to what we call New York to San Francisco. But of course they don't ride the same horse, they ride different horses, and this is why the Pony Express was born. So what they do is that they want to ride from 1 kilometer to 2 kilometer, they ride the horse. So the example is, when you want to ride the horse, you want a horse that run fast, right? So that's why we focus on a small cap stock, and today context we call it turbo trading, because once we get onto the horse and the horse don't run, or the horse just sit there, what do? You cut loss, right? You disembark, you go to the next horse. That is precisely what we want our reader and user to do. Perhaps the problem with most people is that they buy a stock, they don't know why they buy, the friend asks them to buy. So when the stock stuck there, they call the friend, how? Never mind, keep it for long term. So remember, you're riding a Pony Express strategy, and all of a sudden, because the horse don't want to move, because you kena, you didn't know how to read the chart, but at least learn something from it. The strategy is important here, okay? But I think you all believe, and you got my point here. The Pony Express, remember, So after that, so the whole point about it is that even Pony Express rider, they have a strategy how to avoid emergency. So what are things you do when you've been chased by what we call red Indians, right? So they have all this kind of strategy in here. So make sure if you think like a pony rider on when you're trading some stocks, like the Pony Express, what happens again into trouble, right? So if you have not thought about it, then become a member in our premium membership, our VSA 360. That's where we'll tell you what to watch out for, where is the entry, where is the exit in here. But tonight I'm just going to share with you some of the success through our backtesting that we have done in here. At the end of the day, would you actually use a Pony Express to send a parcel if the pony, but knowing that the pony rider may not able to make its delivery? That's the message in here, okay? So on that part, we're going to be focusing on small cap stock, which I've talked about on VSA 360 many times ago, using this. So you can see we'll start off with the Pentagon Guider, and it is always color coded, right? Why color coded is because we always want to be on a fast moving stock above the stage 2, and that's why we talk about above the 200-day moving average. The KLSE index may be below 200-day moving average, but we want the stocks above the 200 moving average, and that's why we want to focus on the LT, the long-term trend, and also the ST. These are the short-term and longer-term focus in here. So that's how we read it in here, and also we can couple that with the industry if you are in favorable of the industry. And right now, what are the industry that is hot right now? If you check out the VSA 360, it is definitely construction and property stocks, right? I think technology had its run already, so property and construction in here. So the way to do this is we want to look at the ST and LT, focusing on the green, as long as the LT is green and ST. And my favorite, check it out members, is the ST. Short term must be greater than minus 5%. LT must be greater than minus 0.5%. And if you get this right, the chances of making money in the stocks is very good. Even if you have a loss, it's only a very, very small loss. And this is the way really going forward in here. And then next, you want to use the percentage, right? Here is what I talk about, really letting the trade move a few days, test it out first. It may be a green Pentagon, but let me move for the last 3 days. And one of those stocks was SCGM. I think I demonstrated on Monday for our member in here, or a few days ago. We saw the market was moving sideways after the green Pentagon, and then immediately a 5% move in favor of those, which is actually very good. And the whole point using this percentage to the date from Pentagon Guider to the current date. So let's say tonight on the 9th, so you're looking until the 8th of to the 9th of August tomorrow trading. Tomorrow will be the 10th of August. So you want to make sure that this number is not too excessive in here. So one of the stocks that we traded using the virtual trade for our members, you can see here, let me just share with you. And this is one of the benefits being a member of our membership. You have a platform, right, which is up to you to buy and sell, and you're given 50,000 ringgit in here, 50,000 ringgit, and you want to trade this. So from the day when I traded, you can see V Solar bought at 26 cents, now at 27.5 cents, but it has gone a bit higher, pullback, right? Then we got SEGM, this is 2.5, each trade you can see 10,000 ringgit, 10,000 ringgit, 10,000 ringgit. This one is smaller. And then you have Avancon, is down 1.7%, Pestec, right? And then we have Pekat was a new one. So these shares will come into you, right, through our VSA 360 screener in here. And once you pick it up in here, and in our member Monday training, this is where we teach our members how to screen them. But tonight, just going to share you a little bit of insight should you decide to become our member in our premium membership in here. So once you have that, then from here onwards, you can also track a history. So you go on to your history, and these are the stocks that we as coaches can go and help you how well you have fared, and this is how we are able to help you to trade better. We're going to see whether you are following the strategy or not. Now remember, trading is a series of trading in and out, and making sure that your losses are small, your profits are bigger, and that's how you make up. And that's the whole process. If you do that, you will definitely make money for the whole year. And that's the whole process of it here. Some may not fit you, right? I do understand that. But right now, going with the condition that we have in the KLSE, if you look back the last 6 years, our market hasn't really gone anywhere, right? Up 6%, then down 3%, down 3%, up 3%, then down 3%. So going forward, it's maybe likely to be like that too. All right, so you need to have a foolproof strategy. So some of the trade idea from a Pentagon Guider will come out. Things you need to consider for the system is the stop loss, holding period, trading, or if you don't want to cut loss, what will we do, right? Remember, we talked about the Pony Express. You need to have this checklist. And if you join our membership, our Premium VSA 360, these are the things that we talk about in here, right? More information, the number, you can WhatsApp us how to join this membership in here. And also, should the trade didn't work, how long do you want to hold it for? And one of the things that we do this is actually back testing. All right. Now through our back testing, we go back to maybe August 2023 and 2024, which is currently right now. This was one of the trade PS tag. You can see here, got in about 30 cents. All right, the market make up slightly. Green Pentagon in here, and of course going behind the background of the coming election 12th of August, I think this market will likely to break up. If it does break up, this is a nice breakup from here for PESTAG, and we all know what PESTAG do, right? If not, check it out on VSA 360. The other one is SEGM. You can see the trade that we did. Green Pentagon, it started to move sideways, 1, 2, 3. We saw the low value and then the high value came in. There's a lot of resistance in here, but again, on the background of the general election, I think the SEGM has a bit of room to go up. It has pulled back in here, but let's see tomorrow what is the action likely to. Now, why we are so confident in it, as I said before, in our breakfast show, we do a lot of back testing, right? Now, the Trade VSA has been around since almost coming to 5 years already. 2018 in here, we've been coming out of 5 years. So the whole process, what we want to do is really go back to some of the trades that we talk about in the previous year and see how well they have fared. All right, you can see, so it's like a time machine for stocks. We go back, use this time machine to see how well we have performed. We pretend that we are actually trading the entry and exit, and then we learn from our past, and then from then onwards, we make minor improvement on today going forward to 2023. We wouldn't want our members to trade any of the system if they don't know what they're doing. So just like this car, you go back to the past, you try to change it. So some good practices in back testing, okay? Some good practices in back testing involve longer period. Either do you back test for 3 months, you back test for a year, or you do back test for 5 years. What kind of variable do you use? All right? Do you go in immediately after the Green Pentagon, or do you wait for 3 or 4 days? Or do you trade on the pullback, right? And also the back testing must include also the cost of commission in here, right? And also different period. So when you back test, you want to back test it through a bull market and a bear market, and that's why we see 2019, what I've shared with you before. Our market, the KLCI, was in the sideways market, and mainly 2022 was in the bear market, right? So if we can make money going forward in here through the back testing, then there is a legitimacy into it. So what do you think? Do you think that our back testing going back to 2019, 2020, 2021, 2023, can we make money to that? So I'm going to share with you our back testing in here. So if we look back the KLCI and the FBM 70 mid cap, KLCI, you can see yearly return after 2016 to 2023 minus 8%. If you go back to 2019, right, I think about 4%, you take out 4% from here because plus 9 here, minus 5. So 4% is even less, minus 4% only. Okay, so on the FBM 70, you can see from here, let me just move it here. Yep, you can see only minus 2. We have only started collecting from 2018. So 2019, 6%, 10%, 18 minus 5, 13, 13 minus 8, 7 plus 7%. Right now, small cap stocks done much better. You can see small cap stock has gone up 7% for that one. So what we have done is that we back tested the Pentagon Guider through a different price range in here. And the entry I want to share with you is just after the Pentagon Guider. We exit within less than 2 to 3 weeks, and we have a fixed stop loss. These parameters and more are reserved for our members, for our VSA members, and we discussed very extensively through our VSA monthly orientation for those of you who are members in here. If not, join us again in here, because it's always good that I keep this for our members. And for the public in here, just want to share with you the good results that we have, so to entice you to join our membership in here. So you can see from our annual return, return per annual over the price range for Pentagon Guider, going back to 2019 for 49 cents, 69 cents, 1 ringgit and 2 ringgit. You can see we have a very good year on 2020. Regardless of 40. Now remember, even in my breakfast show on my VSA 360, I always tell the members to choose, and the public to choose stocks that is above 49 cents. And if you keep to this, you will be able to make money. So from here, you can see year 2020 was a bonus year, 200% return. 2021 is 49, and then 2020 is 4.4%, and 2023 was 10%. But if you go to a higher price range, right? And that's why I always tell people, if you are trading above 2 ringgit, 3 ringgit or 4 ringgit, right, those shares are not worth trading because the stocks don't move for the very short term. When it does, remember the market is still ranging. By the time you get in, the market already come back down. So end up a lot of the members or the public I talk to, they hold the stocks, right? They don't know what to do. Some of them even lost 10-20% in here. So the strategy was right to keep in the long term, but the price range may not be, especially when the KLSE market is not in there. So you can see only for those above 2 ringgit was the year only loss making, only 2019. You can see on top here. I think so. I generally assume that all our members to go around the 49 cents in here, right? You can see 49 cents. This is where the market will actually go higher. So from here onwards, 14, 75, 52, 69, and the price is minus 0.8. So we haven't seen the outcome yet for this. So let's see the year end. We're just up to July in here. So if you plot this again, $100,000 chart, okay, 100,000. Let me just make it a bit smaller. Yep. Okay. So if you plot this again, $100,000 that you started with, you can see from here, right? The stocks that did the best one were the above 69 cents. After 5 years, it's gone up to $700,000. So this method allows a trader, if he constantly follow it, are able to make money there. Now, how many of you would like this? If you like this, just let me know, pencil those in there, or what I'm saying is just something good to share. Because I do believe using the Pentagon Guider through our back testing here, you're able to make very good gains, from $100,000 to $700,000 in here by trading the price risk in here. So more of this will be reviewed in our coming weekly training that I will share with the members every Monday night. So make sure you, if you want to consider joining us and able to have an opportunity to look into this back testing in here. As I said before, this is back testing. It's not with real money in here. All right, but I want to share with you that the entry is always possible, and we included the commission in here. So then you have $2. It went down from 100,000. You can see here. So let's start off with the first one. Price started in 100,000 capital 2019. After end of first year, we made 1.3%. This is the one you see, 1.3%. 69 cents was better. So I do tell members, if you were to trade going forward, right? The best consistent every year 2019. Now this compared to the FBM 70, right? This is done much better. 30, 138, 27, 75, 55. All right. So here you can see then you have losing year. Then we have a good year, right? In 2020, that was the most bullish year. 309,000. 2020 was another good year. 461, but 532. If we choose the price range above the 69 cents, 100, you get 30% return. You can see 30%, 136, 21%, 75, and 55. So this is much better because every year we have a consistent. So from here onwards, you can pretty much say those with around 69 cents may have a good range going forward. Of course, we're going to go be the next level will be testing even further back beyond maybe 2016, 2017 that allows us to do that. So this is one of the things that our team in Trade VSA will do for our members. So when they use the system that we talk about, the Pentagon Guider, they will have something very, very advantageous to it. If this is what you like, and give us a thumbs up, so I'm sure that you are in good hands when we do a lot of this back testing that we have here. Okay. So finally, I encourage and I like to invite those of you who are not member to join our premium membership in here as we take you through the journey on our onboarding experience here to find out how you're able to benefit from this market. Yeah. So in summary, we're coming to the end of our talk. Just keep it within 45 minutes in here. Do some back testing on your own, using what I've shared with you, the Pentagon Guider in here, beginning of stage 2, right? Becoming extra confident when you see sign or strength in the background, right? Go through all the video tutorial that we have in the YouTube. If you are public in here, but if you're members, we have a knowledge center, all our thing here, and then find out what are your back testing results, just like what I did on the virtual trade platform that we have reserved for our member, where they can actually grow and learn from it in here. And then further analysis using the screener in here will help to improve the trader performance. Now remember, making money in the market doesn't just come suddenly someone pour a stocks to you. It does happen if you buy lottery lah. If you don't buy the lottery, how to make money also. But here, the odds of success is very good right now because through our back testing, all the methods that we have, we are very confident. If you follow these rules that you have, you're able to make money consistently in the market. Now remember, every year, the KLSE have been losing year, but through our back testing, we're able to make money in here. Just like this trade. Green Pentagon, well reached, right? Remember I shared with you, gone all the way 45% in here, just on that green Pentagon. But remember, not all trade works. That's why we need to make an exit if we not. Remember the Pony Express, kalau kita nak menunggang kuda kan, kalau kuda tak jalan, what do? We disembark, we get off when we look for another horse. All right, I think that's the lesson I want to share with you tonight in here. And of course, our smart Robie, it's a good starter kit as all our Pentagon Guider will put you into it. So as a summary for tonight, right, GE15 is on the table. The KLCI is turning up. My question to you is, do you have a strategy? What kind of stocks do you want to be looking at? Definitely the Smart Robie, and for our member, the VSA 360 is a good place to start to pick up some of those stocks. KLCI is getting more bullish in here as we go on to the second. Remember, one of the things I talk about, US was in the range market correction 6-7% and then started to correct only 2%. This is the first time it corrected 2%. And the last time when it did that was in 2017, 2019 when the market started to make higher gains. We are in the beginning of a bull market mode, and right now the KLCI also corrected about 2%, also the same time, and we broke through. So tomorrow we have to see, but this will tell us to August 10, which is the release of the CPI figures, giving us a very positive move. The market's going to go up. So use Pentagon Guider as a trade idea and explore the opportunities using Pony Express, the Pony Express or the Trade VSA Turbo method, right? Have a trading strategy ready as a market definitely will move higher. Using Pentagon will definitely give you that edge over here. So that's all we have. This is Martin signing off in here. And if you have any comment or questions, right, stocks, we'll cover them on our breakfast show to look at the stocks. All right. So with that, this is the Telegram to join our stock market educational chat in here. Do share that with your family members, and that's all we have for tonight. Thank you for coming. I enjoy my presence with you, sharing this information with you, and I do hope that this will be beneficial to all. And I would like to invite you, all of you who is not a member of our VSA 360 premium membership, to come and join us. Lots of benefit and another way to make money in the market. That's all I have, and good night.